I do believe this is a form of child trafficking, because anytime you remove authority, you remove parents in this out of the equation, and you're trying to manipulate the situation, you're basically trafficking kids from school into the hands of these medical organizations. And if the parents find out, by the time they find out, it's probably too late, because they've gone down the rabbit hole.
The source of this agenda lies in activist organizations often funded by taxpayer dollars under the guise of mental health initiatives. A glaring example is when Ontario's Education Minister Gillian Dunlop allocated $436,000 to EGAL Canada and $100,000 to PFLAG Canada last November, both of which are activist groups pushing this idea that children can be born in the wrong bodies and capitalizing on the promotion of gender identity and sexual orientation of school children.
Oh, yeah. So I actually have an open case right now with the Ministry of Education where I asked them, so I sent this information to them and I asked them, send me the funding that was given to the schools. And in particular, even with the Waterloo District School Board, how much money did you give for these programs? Who's in charge of bringing these organizations in? What are the metrics for it? And it's been months and I haven't received an answer from them. And now I'm reaching out. I've reached out to the ombudsman, and I have a meeting with them as well. I suspect it's not really going to go anywhere because all these organizations kind of work hand in hand together, and nobody's going to be held accountable. But they treat people with contempt, and that they know better than people. So I'm actually looking into how much funding have these organizations come, because I think that's going to be a very important part. Because like you've mentioned, at the end of the day, there's a hospital, CHEO, in Ottawa, Children's Hospital, and on their website they have that they take referrals directly from school teachers and guidance counselors. Who's really benefiting from this? Honestly, I want to know that as well. But I do think that there's a lot of enabling happening as well.
What cannot be ignored here is the massive financial gain Big Pharma is reaping from this agenda, as transgender individuals require lifelong medical treatments. This translates into a steady flow of profits for the medical establishment, government agencies, the culture industry, and private sector players, each of whom stands to benefit from the widespread promotion of gender ideology. And anyone who tries to expose this faces censorship, as Todor did.
Thankfully, the video version that I put up on YouTube was not removed. That one's very comprehensive. But I wrote an article for Woke Watch, and it was more of a summary of the video. And the Waterloo District School Board actually slid in my DMs on Twitter, and they basically told me to remove a picture of their picture. So I took a screenshot, and in this screenshot, it was their former director, Jiwan Chanika, with another activist and a minor. Like I said, they use kids to push these kind of ideas, right? And they said, well, you can't use a picture of a minor. You can't use our picture that we posted publicly. You can't post that publicly, right? So they're basically trying to, I believe, report copyright, and by reporting copyright, this article gets taken down, right? And then people can't read it. So I definitely think the Waterloo District School Board is one of the main sources, because I did name them, I did use them as an example, and they don't want this information out there, so they're trying to report it in any way possible. And like I said, I don't know who at the Waterloo District School Board, because they didn't give me their name either. They just hide behind the corporate title, Waterloo District School Board. So it's very hard to pinpoint who these people are. But I've also named other people, like politicians like Aislinn Clancy, who came out. She's the Kitchener Green Party MPP who just got reelected again. And she came out to protest against parents who were protesting to remove gender ideology and sexuality. So I'm not really sure who's involved in this. I do know Waterloo District School Board personally reached out as well, but there's a lot of people and activists as well who are probably not very happy, and they're trying to get this stuff removed.
The increasing control on public discourse allows for the evasion of accountability, something Todor warns will continue to contribute to the normalization of these ideas in public education, with school boards like Waterloo stifling criticism by imposing restrictive measures like limiting how long delegates can present at board meetings, implementing capacity restrictions on those meetings, and pre-approving presentations ahead of time. Todor has a strong message for parents.
Yeah, I mean, my message to parents is participate in your own rescue. You know, we all have to participate in our own rescue, and we need to protect the kids. If you are afraid to speak out, the kid has no chance. The kid is there in the school. There's a big power dynamic between them and the teachers and the leadership, right? And if you're scared of hurty words on social media, the kid has no chance in school. So you have to have the courage and the strength to say no more. And you have to speak out against this. And I suggest writing to the Minister of Education and telling them, demanding change, because we just re-elected the same people who have been enabling this. But hopefully, we can use this huge momentum of awareness to demand change, or else, it's good to explore different options like homeschooling if possible, or private schools who I know are in a huge demand right now.